Guys, welcome back to another video. It has been a month, give or take. Things have happened, so I couldn't really post. So I'm gonna give you a catch up real quick. Before we start, I would love for you to subscribe if you haven't already. If you have, welcome back. Don't forget to hit the bell icon, notifies you when a new video comes up, and you can join the Fire Fam. And then comment down below if you met someone with this kind of disorder. You can tell by the title of the video. So if you have met someone, comment down below what you do to help or what have you observed. So what has happened? Oh, and don't forget to like the video. In the last month, I have been having a lot of dental appointments. I had recently, literally about 2 weeks, a little less than 2 weeks ago, I had one of my wisdom teeth pulled and I was out for the count. I had been on bed rest, so I just didn't have the will to do anything. Before that, things with Anthony were going on. He was leaving for basic and things I was trying to cope, let's just say. So that's pretty much what happened. I'll be out for the count again because I'm getting my second wisdom tooth pulled on Monday, and I'll be out for the count again. So when I get back, I get back. But I wanted to get a video out because I feel like it was necessary. So I have been rewatching the series Shameless. And if you haven't watched the show, in the show there's a kid named Ian. And Ian has bipolar disorder, which you realize that by coincidence, or I don't really know what you would call it. His mother also has bipolar disorder, Monica. So, reason why I wanted to pull from this is because I personally have bipolar disorder also. I got diagnosed at a very young age. My manic episodes are very bad and very dangerous. I can get very angry and want to fight people. It's like downhill spiral. There's two types of manics. There's a manic for when your mood swings are really bad, which is mostly like anger for me. And then there's a manic for my depression, because with my bipolar I have depression. So there's two different types of manics, and my anger manic isn't so pretty. There's been times I had gotten arrested for it when I was younger, before I went to Texas. So I used to throw a lot of objects at people, chase people around the house, try to fight people. It's just really a place I wasn't proud of, and I'm a whole different person now. I've learned to try to maintain my manic as much as possible, because it does turn into police being called. My depression manic is quite the opposite. My depression manic is very suicidal. I remember one time I was very manic. At first I was anger manic, and then I got really depressed manic 2 seconds later. And I had literally punched my hand through a bathroom window, and the cops had to be called, and ambulance had to be called, and I was taken to the hospital. It was bad. There was a time I was really manic where I tried to jump out of a moving car on the freeway. And now I'm more stable because they have modified my medication to work for me. Back then I was not on the medication I was on now, or that worked right for me. So I was pretty much having a lot of issues. My manic depression is really scary. I spiral fast, in 30 seconds, I'm spiraling. And with Anthony, he has noticed some, but I've noticed it that I blame it on like a mood drop, which I get for my depression. Mood drops for me are like kind of like a manic episode, but I'm not suicidal as much. I'm not planning anything. I'm not really doing anything anymore. Just like making unnecessary threats about myself that I would do to harm my body. So, my mood drops are kind of like a manic episode, but slightly different. So it's like, so let's say a mood drop is just like, unnecessary threats to myself. And then a manic episode is actually harming myself in a way. And, I have told Anthony that it's just a mood drop, it will go past. But I've never really had the full talk with Anthony about the fact that half the times that I say I'm going to harm myself, or I'm sorry that I've harmed myself, or I'm suicidal and I wish I was dead, that these are manic episodes. These aren't really. Because a mood drop will only last a few hours, maybe like 2 hours at tops. A manic episode will last, depending on it, it will last a day, like 2 days, or 3 or 4, depending on how bad it is. And I've never really had the talk about it because it's a complicated conversation. It's like trying to describe depression or trying to describe why you have an addiction. It's basically the most complicated conversation, and I'm trying to put it in the best possible way without making it sound too complex. But it's really to the point where like I had been hospitalized because my manic episodes got too much. And I am not proud of things I did, or to my family, to myself. I didn't like who I was back then. I've tried really, really hard to maintain what I need to, and it's complicated, but I kind of had to rely on like either my own feeling inside, or if my parents have noticed it, because my parents are like the ones that notice more. Because there's times where like I remember when I was younger, I never really thought that anything was wrong, but when they were switching my medications around at one point, I didn't notice any change or any like symptoms or anything, but my parents did, and they're like, nah, this needs to be fixed. And I'm like, I don't see anything. And they're like, yeah, but we do. So there had been times when I was in middle school where my meds were being switched around, and I wasn't seeing a problem. I just thought maybe I was just angry and I just took out my anger. But then I now realize it was a manic episode and my medications were being wrong. But I normally don't notice a lot of things. There's some symptoms that I can fully recognize. I take a couple medications. I do get nausea. I get thirsty a lot. It's where most of the time when I'm making a video, I drink water when I'm in the video or I'm drinking something. I also have a very bad memory of certain things. Like sometimes I'll forget that I took my dose, or if I was like, oh, I'm gonna go take my meds, and then I get distracted and like I was like, oh yeah, I took them, didn't I? And I question like if I did or not. My memory is not very good. I do get distracted. That's my ADHD. ADD, ADHD, they're the same thing, but I have ADD, and I got diagnosed at a young age with that too. So I notice a lot more with my certain things, but manic episodes are very hard to like predict, and I kind of wish I knew when I was having one before I was having one, because then it would be like so much easier how to control it. But again, I can't. It just happens. It's the same thing with a mood swing. I notice a lot with my mood swings. I'll be like really happy for 2 seconds, and then I get really like depressed, and then I get like really angry with someone, and I go back to being happy like 2 seconds later. It's literally the most scary shit ever. It's like really, really, it can get really scary, because my friends have noticed there are certain times where I'll be really, really, really happy, want to talk, and I want to hang out, and then like 5 minutes later I want to be like nothing to do with anybody and just sit in my room and listen to music. It sounds really nuts, and it's really hard to deal with it, but I've been on medication that should stabilize my mood if I took it properly, but there are times I do forget my morning dose, and I can't. It's so late in the day that I can't take it again. So, because there's like a time frame, you have to be like, I think it's like 8 hours apart. But I take a morning dose and I take a night dose. And it has to be, because the doses are so strong, they have to be a certain hours apart before you take the next dose. So I try to keep things to the consistent. Since I go to bed at 5 a.m., I take my meds either before I go to sleep, or if I wake up at like, and I do wake up at like 3, 4 in the afternoon. If I go to bed at 5, I sometimes take my meds and sometimes I don't. Sometimes I just take them when I wake up. But then I take my night dose at like 11 a.m. or 11 p.m. So it's like later. It's like separate. With my sleeping, I do have insomnia. So my disorders are bipolar disorder, depression, ADD, insomnia, and I have asthma. That's why I have a stuffy nose at the moment. I'm having some stuffy nose issues because of winter. Winter's coming. I make sure that everything is handled, and I make sure I have enough medication for the month and everything, but at the most part, trying to maintain a lot of my mental illness is kind of hard, and I'm not the type of person to ask for help as much, because again, I'm not the type of person that like doesn't want to feel like a burden or feel like I'm bothering someone or annoying them, so I kind of just don't ask anyone. I just kind of stick to myself and try to like organize it in a way. So I do have a lot of distractions. I do a lot of diamond paintings. I do a lot of arts and crafts. I read. I play games on my phone to distract my. It's just like pretty much coping skills, coping skills are more, if you don't know what they are, they're like things you would do to, I don't know, stop being angry. When I'm angry, I normally listen to music and go on the treadmill and run my anger out. When I'm sad, I listen to music and lay on my bed on my back and stare at the ceiling and listen to my favorite songs over and over and over and over until I get calm enough to regroup. When I'm nervous, I do a lot of diamond paintings, like adult diamond paintings and coloring books and arts and crafts and stuff to distract my mind from whatever is making me worried. So it's just something you do when you need to maintain a mood and make it calmer. When I'm happy, I just hang out with friends. Basically, that's it. But no, I wish I could like educate people on how it feels to be in a manic episode, but it's just, when I'm angry, it's like, when I'm angry, I cry. I angry cry because it's just something that I've done since I was a child. I get very like clenched fists. I go like this a lot, and I shake like this. I hit a lot when I'm angry, So instead of trying to hit people, I sometimes try to hit my bed. I sit in that corner right there on the floor and I punch my bed. I've tried really hard to change who I was as a child, because when I was angry as a child, it severed a lot of relationships I had with family, because it made people afraid of me. And because when I'm angry, I'm very strong. I I got into a fight with my father at one point. My dad's 6'2", 200 pounds, a little bit more, less heavy than I am, and we wrestled on the floor and it caused damage and stuff. So I don't like when I'm angry. I try really, really hard to not attack people because of my frustration or my anger because of the person towards them. I don't want to sever any more relationships with my family, because even after 10 years, I'm still trying to mend relationships that I screwed up as a child. And I'm 22, and I was like 10 when I started severing great relationships with people that were family. And now I'm just like trying to mend it so that if something does happen in the future, I have someone to rely on instead of having to go through it alone. Like if family died or something and I can't process how to do everything, I can call my sister and be like, hey, I need your help. And she'll do it for me or help me. But if I called her now and be like, can you take me somewhere, she would question it and be like, why, what for? And that's because I severed that relationship with my sister. And I notice when I talk with my friends, I say I hate the person or that I don't like them, but that's not really the case. I actually love my family. Our relationships have never been great, mostly because of me and my issues and how I took it out on people. But I really don't hate anyone. Um, I I more hate with myself because of who I was and how I was acting and being with people that I shouldn't be. It's just more of like self-hate more than anything, and I kind of wish I'd stop being so terrible with people. But I'm working on that. Therapy is really helping. So I kind of hope I kind of put a little understanding on what manic episodes are like. If I didn't, please comment down below and tell me. Ask me a question and I'll answer it. I'll do another video trying to get into more details about my mental health, and so I'll try. I don't really know how to explain a lot of things. More of it's just an emotion, a feeling that I get that I just sometimes don't really know how to explain. So I'll try my best to answer all you guys' questions. If you have any, just know that I am a new person every day. Not in a bad way, and not in a weird way. I'm a new person, meaning like I learn from my mistakes, and I make amends, and I try my very best to not be who I was as a kid. So that's it for now. I love you guys. I will try to post again as soon as possible. So yeah, bye.